Welcome to the Smart Biz Network. I am George Henry, and today on Business Breakthroughs, I'm talking to Mr. Patrick Ralston. He's the president of United Patent Research, one of the premier product development companies in the country. We are now talking about licensing a product. Once you have got your patent applied for and you're into patent pending, then the next step is to start talking to manufacturers who have the possibility of manufacturing it and distributing it on a mass scale.
Correct.
How does that process work with you?
Well, the way it works with us is that, as you just indicated, you want a manufacturer who will take the risk. You want them to produce it, you want them to sell it. Understand, the inventor has to kind of separate from his baby a little bit. The manufacturer is going to put his name on it. The manufacturer makes most of the money, and in return they pay the inventor a piece of their profit, which is called a royalty. And that's really what a royalty is. People get confused. Royalties, well, how much do I have to pay in royalties? And it's not that the inventor pays a royalty, it's the manufacturer pays the inventor a royalty, which is a piece of his profit.
So that's the same way that like movie stars get paid, or recording artists get paid, or book authors get paid. Exactly. You get a little bit on every one that gets out there.
It's exactly how it works. You're getting a small percentage of their profit, but you're water skiing off of their success. You know, you could produce a special speaker for radio, produce these radios on your own, and you might make $30 or $40 or $50 a radio. But if Sony or hypothetically an electronics company gave you a deal where they're going to give you maybe a quarter, do the math. How many radios can they sell versus how many you could sell? So that's what licensing is about, is letting the manufacturer take the risk, taking the risk out of the inventor's hands. And so sure, there's always an investment when you get to that stage, but the objective is so you don't have to become a factory necessarily. You can let the manufacturer take the risk and try and stay out of it.
Now you guys work with a very well-known licensee.
Absolutely. That's the key thing, is working with a law firm that can, number one, protect your interests. Number two, that can monitor the sales aspect so that you know that you're going to get paid what you're supposed to. But more importantly, someone who's got a track record of being able to go in and meet with companies, supply them with the information, and close the sale. We work with a licensing firm that has worked with some pretty renowned athletes, has licensed through them, has done record labels, has done it all. And they've been in business for 8 years and licensed over 100 products. So by working with us, they get to work with this firm on a contingency, because we pay them, as I mentioned earlier, a fee up front to work with our clients on a contingency. So what stops a lot of inventors sometimes, George, is that they'll say, well, I've got 4 companies that want to talk to me, but I only have the licensing firm, I only can afford to have them talk to 1 of them, or 2 of them. After that, I'm all out of money. So I think that the key thing is being able to follow the correct steps and be able to take them from beginning to end, to be able to finish the project, be able to use all the steps that are necessary in taking a product from point A to point B.
So you guys are kind of like the hub of a wheel, and you're the center, and then everything comes off of what you do to take the product from step A into the inventor's head, all the way to conception, to completion, to seeing it on the market.
Exactly, and that's exactly what we do. We do everything from the research, doing all the work down at the patent office, but most importantly, what our goal is, and I'm sure most inventors' goal is, to find that manufacturer, not just capable of producing it, but the ability to distribute the product on a national as well as international.
Licensing can sometimes be a complicated process. And do people have access to the attorneys and the people who are involved in the process, or do they just go through one part of the company?
No, they work directly. All of our clients are being represented by the law firms that patent their invention. They work directly. The last thing I want to do is try and be a go-between. I'll go nuts trying to answer an attorney's question to pass on to the inventor. So all of our inventors work directly with the patent law firms, the U.S. attorneys. At the same time, they work directly with the licensing company that we've hired. They meet with Mr. Friedman, who's the president and owner of Universal Licensing, and they'll work directly with him, and he'll be doing the work for them to hopefully get the product licensed. So.